Greetings folks, this is the Firefly 7S action camera from Gearbest. It's 4K 24 frames a second capable. It has a Sony IMX078 sensor and a Novatech 96660 chip. And why is that significant? Because it's the same as the SJ Cam SJ5000 Elite. So you would expect the same level of performance from this camera as you would from that SJ5000, which is very good. The unique thing about this camera is that it doesn't have a super wide fisheye lens. It has a 90-degree view lens, which is a departure from most of the other action cams. So it'll be interesting to see how this performs. It'll be very good as a hat cam for recording sort of one man flying, I suppose, because of the narrow angle of view of the lens. Anyway, we'll check it out and see how it performs. Just look at this dazzling array of accessories that comes with the 7S. So where we start, we've got stickers in Chinese, little brochure, instruction manual, some cable ties. This is a rotating tripod clamp, which I find very useful. Sticky pad clamps, Velcro straps. There's the naked housing, which allows the camera to be mounted on your tripod, and the little clip that clips into the back of that housing. The waterproof housing, waterproof to 20 meters, which is a nice sensible depth. Cleaning cloth. We have sticky pads and a leash, wire leash there. Image transfer and charging cable, and here's the FPV and external power cable. With this cable you can get video out or TV out to a video transmitter and use the camera for FPV if you want to, and you can also power the camera from your flight battery as well. Voltage range, I'll have to look that up. So it says the working voltage of the camera is 5 volts, but you can supply 2S to 6S power to this cable to power the camera, apparently. Let's have a look at the menu structure and how it all works. So we turn the camera on with the button on the front there, push and hold. I've got a little OLED screen on the front as well to show us what settings we're in. Push the front button again and you can select what mode you want to be in. It's not a touch screen, it's operated by these two selection buttons on the side, and the front button and the top button. If we push the top button we select the video, and if we use the selection buttons on the side we can change all the settings. So top button to select 1080-60 up to 2160 24 frames a second. That's sort of pseudo 4K, I think. The sweet spot seems to be about 2.5K at 30 frames a second. That gives very nice images that is not cropped at all. The 1080 resolution gets cropped down a little bit. 720 is not cropped down. I usually use 1080-30. Loop recording, time-lapse, does really nice time-lapse video, and I'll show you an example of that in a minute. Selections, so it has a good range of frame rates, 0.5 seconds down to a minute between each shot, which is excellent. All the usual selections, that's voice, video, voice, that's sort of audio recording. Wide dynamic range, that's pretty subtle, works a little bit. Diving mode, is that diving mode or driving mode? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's an underwater setting. Remove fisheye, which is interesting because it doesn't really have fisheye distortion anyway. Motion detection, night mode, change the bitrate, turn the video stamp off. You can zoom down to a narrower angle, which I wouldn't recommend. Frame preferred, I used to know what that is, but I can't remember now. Photo mode, you can change the image size. So this is self-timer mode. You can change the amount of delay before the photo goes off. Burst mode, auto photo, raw images if you want, different effects, different quality, date stamp, long exposure. And this is how you put it into video time-lapse mode. Burst mode, playback, and the setup menu. You can turn the Wi-Fi on and off via the menu or by the side buttons. On-screen display either gives you a clear screen with no overlay on it, or with the overlay, of course. Different white balance, ISO, sharpness, exposure, adjustments. Gyro on and off. The gyro does work quite well in 1080. It crops it down a little bit further though. All the usual settings. Image rotation, you can flip it upside down. You can choose what the HDMI output is, which is nice. I haven't seen that on other cameras. Format, fast power on, which means it starts recording as soon as you turn it on. Put it back to default, and the default version. Alright, let's have a look at the Wi-Fi app. Turn the camera on, and it's the front change button. Hold it down to turn the Wi-Fi on. Wi-Fi is now on. Now we've got the Hawkeye app. Download from the internet, of course. Unfortunately, it's all in Chinese, so you just have to guess. We've got the Firefly Wi-Fi network up. Should be able to connect now. There we go. Coming. Excellent. So there's the Wi-Fi connected. All the text is in Chinese, but it's pretty easy to work out. It does rotate as well, unlike the SJ Cam on the iPad. That's obviously start-stop video button. It starts the video. There we go, we're recording video now. Stop video. All the usual. You can change all the parameters on the Wi-Fi app as well, just like all of the other action cameras, and it seems to work quite flawlessly actually, better than the SJ Cam. The only problem is the Chinese titles. I'm sure we'll get the English version eventually. 4K, 24 frames a second. .5, 30 frames a second. 1080 60. 1080 30. 1080 30 wide dynamic range on. 1080 30 gyro on. .720 120 frames a second. So to sum it all up, what do I think of the camera? Well, I like the non-distorted 90-degree narrower angle of view, which makes it a great hat cam camera because you get a larger image of the plane in your video. The functions are all great. The camera itself works well. The Wi-Fi app works very well. The FPV works well. There are a few little issues with the image quality, and I'll show you some examples here. Very much like the Firefly Q6. In nice clear blue sky you can get some pink banding and compression artifacts in the sky, and it happens sort of on the horizon when you're looking towards the sun, where the sky gets a little bit lighter and it transitions from blue to sort of pink, and there are compression artifacts become quite obvious. It's only in certain circumstances, and it's only with sort of clear blue sky. And also the other issue is that on the right side of the image there's always a bit of a purple edge to it. Purple hue, I suppose, which I found in this camera as well as the Foxeer Legend 2, and I think the Foxeer Legend 1 had it on the left side. So it seems to be a bit of a feature of some of these budget action cameras. But other than that, it's quite a good camera. It's very reasonably priced, nice, sharp, colourful images, and excels as a hat cam and for recording distortion-free video without that fisheye effect. Thanks to Gearbest for providing this for the review, and the purchase link's in the description, of course, and thanks for watching.